Hello, I'm Corelli. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is episode 368 of my Cat Vibes series. If you're not subscribed, of course, I want to invite you to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell notification. As far as I remember, this video is still dropping in February, so videos are dropping at an increased rate. But in late February, I'm going back to my slower schedule, which means one video per 3 days. This painting itself was painted in December, actually. And the reference is from October last year. So we're pretty spread out in time again. I remember I was making an Instagram reel around this time, exactly with this painting on the easel. And then I finished this painting next night. What I particularly love about this painting here is that I could juxtapose in the same scene the turquoise and the violets. I find it deeply satisfying somehow. Hard to explain. I don't know. When I'm painting a piece, I almost feel the music of it. Music in color and in shape, in the flow of it. And I really, at some point, I will also get me some acrylic colors, and I somehow feel that I want to go into more abstract painting, but I want to do it in acrylics, not in oils. Somehow I feel that I feel compelled that I should stick with oil colors for semi-realistic, expressionistic, post-impressionistic kind of painting. Like here, I'm painting a real scene from a real reference photo, which is in the backyard, and this is the view of the woods. And between those leaves, there is some of that sky, some of that October sky there, but there is this color fall, all sorts of colors in the sunlight of this vegetation, and there are browns and there are deep blues in the shadows, and there are all sorts of greens there, a whole variety of greens, and all sorts of reds as well. But there is a flow to it, to this scene that I'm trying to amplify. I'm not merely just copying whatever I see, I'm adding a great deal of whatever I want it to be into the mix. To me, this process is akin to, when you're sitting by an open window in spring and you hear a particular bird that sings a particular song, and the bird sings that song with an almost perfectly consistent interval. Over a certain amount of time, it sings that little phrase, and there is a rhythm to it. And it's imperfect. It's not snapped to the grid. It's not ideal. That's kind of the point and the beauty of it. But you record that and you sample it, and then you build a composition that utilizes that sample. And so now you are actually, to a certain degree, snapping it to your grid, and you're putting some rhythm underneath this, which is going to be consistent. You're adding a groove to this, and now this sample exists within the framework of your piece. The way I see painting, I think, in a lot of these cases, is akin to this example. What I just described with birds and other sounds that are maybe repetitive. They might be repetitive, but you reimagine them in a new way. So you're not completely copying the original sound. Well, you sample it, right? But then you distort it, or then you move it around, or maybe you cut it up, or maybe you change the pitch, or you do something else to it. You don't leave it really in its pristine form. You're doing something to it. You're changing it. And that's kind of part of the whole point. So I think maybe, and I don't really know myself what is the name for this kind of art. I really don't know. But I feel that this is the closest explanation that I can find in my own words of what am I actually painting. Because the source for my paintings, oftentimes, if not always, is within the realm of real or imagined, but still realistic. However, the end result is pretty far from the actual real scene. It's not a photocopy of reality. It's a different version of that reality. And it's made to suit my own vision, my own groove, my own internal grid, my own internal feel for what's going on. I'm amplifying patterns, I'm amplifying colors, I'm amplifying the flow of things, and I want those colors to dance in a particular way. Sometimes I exert more control, and sometimes I exert less control. So this painting is just called October Colorfall. Kind of a wordplay on colorful, only this is Colorfall. And this little piece was a true joy to paint. I really enjoyed it. Even though I remember months and months ago, I would have perceived something like this as extremely challenging because of the sheer breadth of the color palette, because there's so many colors in here and so much different texture and flow. But nowadays it feels, I'm not saying it feels easy, but it certainly feels like not that much of a challenge, I gotta say. I certainly thoroughly enjoy the process, as you can see. Signing the painting, and there we go. Here's the finished painting. Thank you very much for being with me, and until next time, ciao.